before. Now with this one, before I'm going to do this backwards or different from the other two that I just did. I'm going to solve it with y1, y2, and then we'll look at doing the factoring methods. So let's come back here. Let's see, how do I get back to, just click there. F6 gets us back to the graph. So what I'm going to do is y1, I'll put the left side, which is just 4y squared, or 4x squared is what my calculator, 4x raised to the second. Execute that one. Y2 will be the other side. Now, this negative, it looks, I mean, you can't tell the difference. They both look like subtraction, but the negative really is in front of a number. It's not between numbers. That's when we use this negative sign, negative 9x. But the second one we subtract into, we need to use the subtraction sign. Okay, so just kind of hit execute. We go to draw. Now, in this case, we can't use the function tool of a root, because it's not where it's crossing the x-axis. It's where these two things are intersecting. And we see one here, and there's likely to be another one like right up in here that we don't see. It's always good. It'll find it, but I'm just going to show you with your window, since I can see, hey, it looks like there's one a little bit higher. I'm going to wait my y max maybe like, hey, let's just jump to 20. Go there, we'll draw it. Now I do see it much more clearly. Now, how did I know it was 20? I didn't. I just guessed. If it wasn't high enough, I'd go a little bit higher. Maybe I might go lower if it was like, you know, if the intersection was down here at 10. Actually, that's what I thought. I thought 10 would be good enough. But I'm glad I went to 20. So what do? All I have to do now is do my Graphical Solve tools, and I do intersect. I want the intersection of these two graphs. And it gives me that first one. Now notice my y value is no longer 0. It is whatever it is, but what I'm looking for is what x value makes the intersection. So in this case, again, they've got u instead of x, but the calculator uses x, so u actually is -2 is one of the answers. Okay, and then I just hit the arrow over, and I get my second answer, which is -0.25. Now, Alex may not like this because it may want a fraction, and hopefully you can recognize that 0.25 is 1/4. So we might need to put it in as -1/4. So -2 and -1/4 are the answers we get. Now, there is a feature to turn decimals into fractions, but what I always suggest is just kind of, it's easier to take fractions. And so if you think, I think 1/4, right? Try this, you know, do a few of these. Yeah, that's the 0.25. 1/3, you know, do a few of these. Oh, that's the 0.33. And then you get to recognize them. Okay, so let me show you the other way, just so you've got all these details. So the other way we usually do is bring everything over. So since these are negative, I'm going to add these to both sides. 9u plus 2, right? Why not? You can add as much as you want. You can do 2 steps at once. So then we get 4u squared plus 9u plus 2 equals 0. I'm going to show you can do this with factoring as well. Now to get 4u squared, here's the deal is, we're going to break it up like this. I could either do 2u and 2u, or 1u and 4u. So right, because 4u, the factors for 4u squared are 2u times 2u, or 1u times 4u. Now, in this way I did it, I see 1/4. I can tell, hey, one of these is going to be a 4u, one's going to be a 1. But you try either one. So I'm going to go with u and 4u. Okay, let's see how that works. And then 2, there's only really one choice. It's 1 times 2 is 2. That's all you can do. So do I put the 2 here, or do I put it here? Well, I look in the middle. I'm going to get a 9. To get a 9, and I'm adding, right? That's what this plus means. See, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 would give me the 9. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 would give me 6. So I need to put the 2 here and the 1 here. And again, you could play with it, and you actually learn a lot by making mistakes. When you do it wrong and then you foil it out, you'll see it didn't work, but then hopefully you start. That's how I learned it anyway. Both are plus because it's plus, plus, plus in the middle. And if you foil this out, you'll see you'll get what we started with, and that's equal to 0. So then you break it up, u plus 2 equals 0, or 4u plus 1 equals 0. And it doesn't really matter which method you use. I just want you to be able to use both of them actually. It's good to be able to factor, but it's also very important to be able to use the graphing calculator as you go forward, depending upon what your next math class is. So that again, we subtract 1 here, 4u equals negative 1, and then we divide by 4. So that this one maybe was a little more straightforward in getting us the fraction. Okay, so we got the same answer both ways. You choose, but that's 24.